Good afternoon, ENG1D1. Ms. Boshcoff here again. We're going to continue on with Act 2, Scene 1. But firstly, let's turn back a couple pages and just get some context where we left off with Act 1. So here we see that a group of Athenian actors or workers have gathered at the home of Quince, who is kind of like the director to this play that they are going to practice. At the end of scene 2, we see that they have all agreed to meet in the forest the following evening. We also see that one particular actor or workman has established himself to be a bit of an idiot. He certainly is a bit of an ass. But they all seem to actually be blithering bumpkins. They agree to learn their lines by the next night and meet in the forest. So that is their plan. They want to meet in the forest so that other people can't see them performing and maybe take their ideas. Okay, so again, here we see Act 2, Scene 1. Two groups are headed for the forest. Two pairs of young lovers, and we know who they are. That is Lysander and Hermia, who are in love, and they want to get married in the little next city outside of Athens' walls. And a collection of amateur actors. This scene is set in the forest at night, where we are introduced to yet another set of characters, Queen Titania and King Oberon. They are the fairies. They are a royal couple who inhabit the forest. They are also magical characters in that they are part of an ancient myth. As the scene opens, Puck, Oberon's helpmate and also a figure from myth, is explaining to the forest sprites the reasons for this big quarrel between his master Oberon, King Oberon, and Queen Titania. The two monarchs have been quarreling about which one should keep a little boy stolen from an Indian king. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background on that. It is said that Titania stole him from an Indian king when she was traveling to India. This type of boy is called a changeling boy, and a changeling is a creature found in folklore throughout Europe, believed to be a fairy child that had been left in place of a human child, stolen from the fairies. All right, now the actual story, if you ask Titania, she would tell a different story. The story she would say is that she didn't steal him, that she was actually very good friends with the child's mother back in India. But because the mother was mortal, she died. Before that happened, though, Titania did promise her friend she would take good care of this young changeling boy. So it's kind of like she is the godmother of this young boy. Okay, so Oberon decides that he's going to take this boy away from Queen Titania. He would really like to have this boy as his personal servant. Titania doesn't like that idea one bit. But we see here that Oberon is actually going to behave in some pretty juvenile fashion in an attempt to get what it is that he wants. So he decides he's going to use a magic potion to get the child away from Titania. To punish her even more, he plans to use a potion on her that will make her fall passionately in love with whomever and whatever she sets eyes on first when she awakes. He will then steal the boy and release Titania from the spell. As Puck leaves his master to find the flower for the potion, Demetrius and Helena approach the forest. Helena pleads with Demetrius to return her love, but Demetrius has eyes only for Hermia and orders Helena out of his sight, and pretty rudely. We already know Demetrius is a bit of a dog, right? Oberon overhears this fight, and he overhears Helena and Demetrius quarreling, and instructs Puck to use some of the same love potion meant for Titania on this Athenian lover, on Demetrius, and then the mix-up begins. So this big mix-up is going to be referred to as Puck's merry mix-up. Okay, so let's take a look here. Act 2, Scene 1. There are two scenes in this act. They're going to gather in the woods just near Athens outside of the walls. Enter from opposite sides a fairy. This fairy is an attendant to Queen Titania. And then Puck, as we've already been introduced, he is like a henchman to King Oberon. Okay, so let's get a little bit of an introduction to him. Puck is a devil according to folklore or folk tales during Shakespeare's time. Robin Goodfellow, also called Puck, was a mischievous household sprite. So we're going to find in this particular tale that Puck is also known as Robin Goodfellow. All right, so let's begin Act 2, Scene 1. Puck is going to encounter this other fairy and is going to be asking, hey, where are you going? Where you been? What's up? Okay, let's do this.
Over hill, over dale, through a bush, through a briar, over park, over pale, through a flood, through a fire, I do wander everywhere, swifter than the moon sphere. And I serve the fairy queen to dew her orbs upon the green. My houses tall her pensions be, and in their gold coats spots you see. Those in rubies, very favored, in those freckles live their savors. I must go seek some dewdrops here, and hang a pearl in every countless ear. Farewell, thou lovely spirit, are gone. Our queen and all her elves come here anon.
All right, so the fairy responds, oh, I've been everywhere. I've just been over every meadow and around every corner of the earth that you could imagine. And we know that she has because the Changeling Boy is from India. She says at the end, farewell, thou lob of spirits. So she's actually giving Puck a bit of an insult because Puck is bigger than the other fairies. And then she says, I'm out of here. Our queen and all her elves come here a little bit later on tonight. So Puck is going to react to this because his king is also coming there in the same spot a little bit later. He doesn't think it's a good idea that they run into each other.
The king that keeps revels here tonight. Take heed the queen come not within his sight. For Oberon is passing felon law, because that she, as her attendant, hath a lovely boy, stolen from an Indian king. She never had so sweet a changeling, and jealous Oberon would have the child knight of his train trace the forest wild. But she, force withholds the lovely boy, crowns him with flowers and makes him all her joy. Now they never meet in grove or green, by fountain clear or spangled starlight sheen, for they do square, that all their elves so fair, creep into acorn cups and hide them there.
All right, so again, Puck is very concerned. He does not believe that they should run into each other accidentally, because whenever they do, they get into a big fight, and all of the fairy attendants have to run away in fear and hide in acorns. So the other interesting information that Puck shares with us is that Oberon is very jealous of this changeling boy. He wants this changeling boy to have as his servant, but because Queen Titania loves this child so much and dotes on him, that he just can't get an opportunity to take this boy away.
Either I mistake your shape and make me quite, or else you are that shrewd and knavish sprite called Robin Goodfellow. Are not you he that fights the maidens of the village?
Okay, so she says, hey, you're bigger than the other elves, the other fairies. I think I've heard about you. Are you that sprite, that fairy called Robin Goodfellow? Now here we see that this name is ironic because he's quite mischievous, and we're going to definitely see lots of evidence of that.
Milk and sometimes labor in kern, and foodless make the breathless housewife churn, and sometimes make the drink to bear no balm, mislead night wanderers laughing at their harm. those that hobgoblin corners, and sweet Puck. You do their work and they shall have good luck. Are not you he?
All right, so she says, I've heard all about you. There are lots of rumors about you. I've heard that you like to frighten the maids in the village, that you steal cream from their milk, that you play in their grain mill, and then there's no grain flour to be found. You also steal the yeast so that the beer will be flat. She says, are you known as Hobgoblin or Sweet Puck? Am I right? Is this who you are? And he is going to take great pride in this because again he's quite mischievous, so he's going to stand a little prouder that his name is so well known.
Thou speakst right. I am that merry wanderer of the night. I jest wove on and make him smile when I a fat and bean-fed horse beguile, neighing in likeness of a filly foal, and sometime lurk I in a gutted foal, in very likeness of a roasted crab. And when she drinks, against her lips I bob, and on her withered dewlap pour the ale. The wisest dance telling the saddest tale, sometimes a 3-foot stool mistaketh me. Then slip I from her bum, down double she, and Taylor cries and falls into a cough, and then the whole choir hold their hips and laugh, and waxing in their mirth and knees and swear, a merry hour was never wasted there. But here comes Oberon.
Uh-oh, it's too late. Oberon has already arrived. So Puck says, yes, you are right. I am that merry wanderer of the night. He explains, I actually am in charge of keeping Oberon occupied, like I'm his fool almost. And he does manage to occupy King Oberon. He sometimes imitates a female horse to make him laugh. He sometimes will bite on women's lips when they are gossiping, and then it makes their beer spill all over their chin. He finds this very, very funny. He also will pretend sometimes to be a stool, that when somebody goes to sit down, he removes himself and that person topples all over the place, falls on the floor. He finds this very, very funny. He laughs at this person falling. So we see that he is very mischievous, and more than that, he's proud of being so mischievous. But at the end, he says, uh-oh, here comes King Oberon. And then the fairy is going to say, oh my goodness, and here comes my mistress, Queen Titania. Would that he were gone. I wish he wasn't here. I wish they weren't going to run into each other, because they're probably going to have a big fight.
And here my mistress. Would that he were gone.
Ill met by moonlight, proud Titania.
What? Jealous Oberon? Fairest, give him. I have forsworn to spare them company.
Tarry, rash wanton. Am not I thy lord?
Then I must be thy lady. But I know when thou hast stolen away from fairy land, and in the shape of Corin sat all day playing on pipes of corn, and versing love to amorous Philida.
All right, so they come face to face with each other. Oberon says, oh, look who's here. Proud Titania, you won't give up that boy to me. So he does establish that he's jealous. And Titania actually calls it right to his face. Oh, jealous Oberon. And then she says, fairies, you can go away. Don't worry. I have forsworn his bed and his company. She says, I'm not giving him any satisfaction. I'm not spending time with him, and I'm certainly not spending or sharing his bed. Oberon says that she is a sexually immoral person, and Titania says, you're calling me a lush? Ha! I've heard all about you too. And she's going to go on to explain that King Oberon is guilty of flirting with other women or other fairies when Titania isn't around. And so Titania is going to go into some proof that she has that Oberon is a bit of a flirt himself. So they both are, being flirty with other people here.
Why art thou here, come from the farthest steppe of India, but that forsooth the buzzing Amazon, your busked mistress and your warrior love, to Theseus must be wedded? And you come, to give their bed joy and prosperity.
How canst thou thus, for shame, Titania, glance at my credit with Hippolyta, knowing I know thy love to Theseus? Didst thou not lead him through the glimmering night from Perigenia, whom he ravished, and make him with fair Aeglus break his faith with Ariadne and Antiopa?
All right, so they're definitely fighting. Titania is saying, you have such a crush, you're such a flirt, you have such a crush on this bouncing Amazon, on Hippolyta. And she says, you've come back to Athens to bless their wedding, but I know that you have a big crush on her. And Oberon says, oh, you are shameful, Titania. Don't you think I know what a crush you have on Theseus? And Titania is going to say, these are just made up stories because you're jealous.
These are the forgeries of jealousy. And never, since the midsummer spring, met we on hill, in dale, forest, or mead, by paved fountain or by rushy brook, or in the beached margin of the sea, to dance our ringlets to the whistling wind. But with thy brawls thou hast disturbed our sport. Therefore the wind, piping to us in day, as in revenge, hath sucked up from the sea contagious fog, which falling in the land, have every pelting river made so proud, that they have overborne their continents. The ox hath therefore stretched his yoke in vain, the ploughman lost his sweat, and the green corn hath rotted ere his youth attained a beard. The fold stands empty in the drowned field, and crows are fatted with the murrian flock. The 9 men's morris is filled up with mud, and the quaint mazes on the wanton green, for lack of thread, are undistinguishable. The human mortals want their winter here. No night is now with hymn or carol blessed. Therefore the moon, the governess of floods, pale in her anger, washes all the air, that rheumatic diseases do abound. And thorough this distemperature we see the seasons alter. Hoary-headed frosts fall in the fresh lap of the crimson rose, and on old Priam's thin and icy crown, an odorous chaplet of sweet summer buds is as in mockery set. The spring, the summer, the childing autumn, angry winter, change their wonted liveries, and the mazed world, by their increase, now knows not which is which. And this same progeny of evils comes from our debate, from our dissension. We are their parents and originals.
Okay, so Titania is saying, you are jealous, and we keep fighting over things, and it's actually disturbing nature because our fighting is so disruptive. Nature is in shambles. Actually, she's explaining. She's saying that they haven't gotten along for quite some time. So she's saying the winds have grown very fierce, and they are taking revenge. And what the winds have done is they've sucked up the seas, and they have created huge floods. And these floods have killed a bunch of livestock. And she goes on to give more specific details here. The ox hath therefore stretched his yoke in vain. The fields have been plowed and planted for no reason, because the rain has ruined everything. Even the smallest stream is swollen with rain. Everything is flooded. The crows have gotten fat, eating all the drowned sheep and diseased cattle. And this is all because we are fighting. Our fighting is being reflected, it's being paralleled in nature. Not only that, but there are illnesses that are abounding. Illnesses caused or made worse by dampness, like coughs and colds. So there is a disturbance in the natural order of things, and it is all caused because of their fighting. The seasons are even all mixed up, she goes on to say. And this same progeny of evils comes from our debate, from our dissension, from us not getting along, from our quarrels. We are their parents, and we are the creators of all of this disruption. So Oberon is going to respond to her and say, well, why don't you fix it? Why don't you give me the changeling boy? It's all your fault. It's not my fault. It's your fault. You won't give me that changeling boy. you could fix it right now, Titania. Just give that boy to me and everything will be back to normal. And she is not going to be pleased with that.
Do you amend it then? It lies in you. Why should Titania cross her Oberon? I do but beg a little changeling boy to be my henchman.
Set your heart at rest. The fairy land buys not the child of me.
All right, so she says, no way. Relax already. You can just give it up because there is no way I'm giving this boy to you. And then she's going to go into the history of it. And she's going to explain, I made a vow to his mother that I would watch over him when I was in India. And so later on, she's going to say, don't bother arguing with me. I won't do it. I won't give him to you.
His mother was a votaress of my order, and in the spiced Indian air by night full often hath she gossiped by my side, and sat with me on Neptune's yellow sands, marking the embarked traders on the flood, when we have laughed to see the sails conceive and grow big-bellied with the wanton wind, which she, with pretty and with swimming gait following, her womb then rich with my young squire, would imitate and sail upon the land, fetch me trifles and return again as from a voyage, rich with merchandise. But she, being mortal, of that boy did die. And for her sake do I rear up her boy, and for her sake I will not part with him.
How long within this wood intend you stay?
Perchance, till after Theseus' wedding day. If you will patiently dance in our round and see our moonlight revels, go with us. If not, shun me, and I will spare your horns.
Give me that boy, and I will go with thee.
Not for thy fairy kingdom. There is a way. We shall chide downright if I longer stay.
Okay, so he won't give it up. She even gives him an opportunity to make things better again. She says, just don't even bother asking me anymore. I'm not going to give you him. I have made a promise to his mother that I will take care of him, and that's what I intend to do. Oberon says, well, how long are you planning to stay here in these woods in Athens? And she says, well, I'm going to stay until after Theseus' wedding day. We know that that's in 3 days now. And she says, well, you know, if you can behave yourself, why don't you join us in the moonlight and join us in a nice round dance? If you can, you know, be mature. And he says, give me that boy, and then I'll go with you. And she says again, not going to happen, not even maybe. And she says, fairies, we got to get out of here, because if I stay here, I'm going to fight with him more. We shall chide downright. We will quarrel even more. Exit Titania with her train.
Well, go thy way. Thou shalt not from this grove till I torment thee for this injury. My gentle Puck, come hither. Thou rememberest, since once I sat upon a promontory, and heard a mermaid on a dolphin's back, uttering such dulcet and harmonious breath, that the rude sea grew civil at her song, and certain stars shot madly from their spheres to hear the sea maid's music.
Okay, so Oberon's got a plan. He says, fine, you won't give him to me? I'm going to win. I'm going to get back at you, and I will get some revenge. I will torment thee for this injury. I will get back at you. So again, this kind of establishes that he's immature and he's and he's definitely jealous. So here's his plan. He says, my gentle Puck, come here. Do you remember once I was sitting on a jutting out piece of land, and we saw a mermaid on a dolphin's back, and she had such sweet music. Do you remember that? And Puck is going to say, oh, I do remember that. That very time I saw, but thou couldst not, flying between the cold moon and the earth, Cupid all armed. So the the character Cupid has the magical power to make people fall in love. He shoots an arrow and he makes people fall in love. So Oberon is saying here, I saw Cupid in that area, and he was trying to take aim and shoot it at a particular virgin. Now this is a compliment to Queen Elizabeth I, who was known as the Virgin Queen. Oberon is going to go on to explain that when Cupid threw his arrow, it actually missed Queen Elizabeth, and that's why Queen Elizabeth I has never married or was not in love with anyone. The where the arrow fell, a little western flower grew, and where that flower grew, this purple flower was given the ability to have magic powers, just like Cupid, and it can make people fall in love. So Oberon is going to instruct Puck, go find me that flower, this purple flower, a pansy. We know that as a pansy, also called love in idleness. Go fetch me that flower so that I can use it as a magic potion. I'm going to get revenge on Queen Titania.
That very time I saw, but thou couldst not, flying between the cold moon and the earth, Cupid, all armed. A certain aim he took at a fair vestal, throned by the west, and loosed his love shaft smartly from his bow, as it should pierce 100,000 hearts. But I might see young Cupid's fiery shaft quenched in the chaste beams of the watery moon, and the imperial votaress passed on in maiden meditation, fancy-free. Yet marked I where the bolt of Cupid fell. It fell upon a little western flower, before milk-white, now purple with love's wound, and maidens call it love in idleness. Fetch me that flower. The herb I showed thee once, the juice of it, on sleeping eyelids laid, will make or man or woman madly dote upon the next live creature that it sees. Fetch me this herb, and be thou here again ere the Leviathan can swim a league.
Oh, what's good? Right about here. In 40 minutes.
Having once this juice, I'll watch Titania when she is asleep, and drop the liquor of it in her eyes. The next thing then she waking looks upon, be it on lion, bear, or wolf, or bull, on meddling monkey, or on busy ape, she shall pursue it with the soul of love. And ere I take this charm from off her sight, as I can take it with another herb, I'll make her render up her page to me. But who comes here? I am invisible, and I will overhear their conference.
Okay, so King Oberon has a plan. He sends Puck to go find this pansy, this love in idleness purple flower, and he's going to use it to put on Queen Titania's eyes so that he can steal the boy away from her. When she opens her eyes, she will fall in love with whatever it is that she sees, and that will give him an opportunity to steal the boy. He thinks this is, this could be great fun, depending on what she falls in love with. She could fall in love with a lion, a bear, a wolf, or a bull. Could be a monkey or even an ape, he says. Wouldn't that be funny? Not really. Pretty embarrassing, pretty humiliating for her. But again, King Oberon is pretty jealous and pretty immature here, and he's going to do whatever it takes to get that boy away from from her. Near the end here, he sees that Demetrius is in the woods, and quickly followed by Helena, who just can't get over this guy.
I love thee not, therefore pursue me not. Where is Lysander? And fair Hermia, the one I'll slay, the other slay of me. Thou toldst me they were stolen under this wood, and here am I, and woed within this wood because I cannot meet my Hermia.
No.
Hence, get thee gone, and follow me no more.
You draw me, you hard-hearted adamant. But yet you draw not iron, for my heart is true as steel. Leave you your power to draw, and I shall have no power to follow you.
Do I entice you? Do I speak you fair? Or rather, do I not in plainest truth tell you I do not nor I cannot love you?
And even for that do I love you the more. I am your spaniel, and Demetrius, the more you beat me, I will fawn on you. Use me but as your spaniel, spurn me, strike me, neglect me, lose me, only give me leave, unworthy as I am, to follow you. What worse a place can I beg in your love, and yet a place of high respect with me, than to be used as you use your dog?
Tempt not too much the hatred of my spirit, for I am sick when I do look on thee.
And I am sick when I look not on you.
You do impeach your modesty too much, to leave the city and commit yourself into the hands of one that loves you not, to trust the opportunity of night and the ill counsel of a desert place with the rich worth of your virginity.
For your virtue is my privilege for that. It is not night when I do see your face, therefore I think I am not in the night. Nor doth this wood lack worlds of company, for you in my respect are all the world. Then how can it be said I am alone, when all the world is here to look on me?
I'll run from thee and hide me in the brakes, and leave thee to the mercy of wild beasts.
The wildest hath not such a heart as you. Run when you will, the story shall be changed. Apollo flies, and Daphne holds the chase. The dove pursues the griffin, the mild hind makes speed to catch the tiger. Bootless speed when cowardice pursues and valor flies.
I will not stay thy question.
No.
Let me go. For if thou follow me, do not believe, but I shall do thee mischief in the wood.
Aye, in the temple, in the town, the field, you do me mischief. My Demetrius, your wrongs do set a scandal on my sex. We cannot fight for love as men may do. We should be wooed, and we're not made to woo. I'll follow thee, and make a heaven of hell to die upon the hand I love so well.
All right, so here we see the theme, Fool for Love. Demetrius is pretty straightforward here. I love thee not, do not follow me. I am looking for Lysander and the fair Hermia. One of them I will kill. The other one has killed me because she doesn't love me. So then he says, get out of here, follow me no more. Helena will not give up. She says, I love you, it's as strong as steel, and I just am not able to leave you alone. Demetrius then says, I'm not even leading you on. I'm telling you straight to your face. Just get away. And she says, I understand. I know. I'm like a dog. I'm like a spaniel. And she says, I'm fine with that. You can just treat me like a dog, and I'm okay with that. And Demetrius says, oh, don't tempt me. And she responds that she's just sick when she can't see him. And so it's worth it to her, even if he is mean to her, to see him. Demetrius responds, you know, you shouldn't really trust me alone in this dark forest with your virginity. You shouldn't trust people in dark places. And she says, I do trust you. And I'm so sickly in love with you that you are my whole world. In fact, you are my whole world that when I'm in your sight or in your company, it is not night, it's daylight. He says, I'm going to leave you here. I'm going to give you the slip, and I'm going to leave you to the mercy of all the wild beasts. Helena responds, you could try, buddy, but I will chase you down. So then Demetrius exits. She declares, though, it doesn't matter what he does, I will follow thee, and I will make a heaven of hell. And even if I have to, I will die for love. I will die upon the hand I love so well. Okay, Oberon sees this and feels pretty sorry for how codependent Helena is being.
Fare thee well, nymph. Ere he do leave this grove, thou shalt fly him, and he shall seek thy love. Welcome, wanderer. Hast thou the flower there?
Aye, There it is.
I pray thee give it me. I know a bank where the wild thyme flows, where ox slips and the nodding violet grows, quite over-canopied with luscious woodbine, with sweet musk roses and with eglantine. There sleeps Titania sometime of the night, lulled in these flowers with dances and delight. And there the snake throws her enameled skin, weed wide enough to wrap a fairy in. And with the juice of this I'll streak her eyes and make her full of fateful fantasies. Take thou some of it, and seek through this grove. A sweet Athenian lady is in love with a disdainful youth. Anoint his eyes, but do it when the next thing he espies may be the lady. Thou shalt know the man by the Athenian garments he hath. Effect it with some care, that he may prove more fond on her than she upon her love. And look thou meet me ere the first cock crow.
Fear not, my lord. Your servant shall do so.
Okay, so Oberon takes pity on Helena, who is so sickly in love. He says, "Don't worry, maiden, I will fix this." So when Puck comes back very quickly, he does have the flower. Oberon explains what his plan is for Titania. He is explaining that there is a place in the forest where Titania often likes to go and sleep. He's going to tell Puck to go to that place and find Titania and put the juice of this little flower on her eyes. It will make her fall in love with the first person that she sees. And then he's going to give Puck another instruction to put some of this love juice on the eyelids of Demetrius. And then he says, take great care, Puck, to make sure that when Demetrius wakes up, this is the woman that he sees Helena, and that they are in love. He plans on fixing things. Puck swears that he will do so. Fear not, my lord, your servant shall do so. The instruction that he has is that he will know the Athenian man by his Athenian clothes. And so this has set the stage, literally, for a big mix-up to occur. Again, Puck's merry mix-up. Okay, so Act 2, Scene 2. Let's take a look here. Act 2, Scene 2. Nighttime falls in the forest, and Oberon's spellbinding plans must move ahead quickly. Hermia and Lysander prepare for sleep. Oberon finds Titania and successfully casts a spell on her as she sleeps. Puck, though, in his haste to find Demetrius, becomes confused, and instead of casting a spell on Demetrius, he finds the other young man dressed in Athenian clothes and applies the love juice to Lysander's eyes. As soon as Puck leaves, Helena and Demetrius enter. Lysander wakes up, sees Helena, and falls in love with her. Helena thinks Lysander is making fun of her and runs away, with Lysander closely following behind. Poor Hermia is left alone and afraid. Again, so here is the big mix-up. When we take a look here, we can see how these young lovers are going to fall asleep, and that's going to enable more mix-up to happen. Okay.
Now a rumble and a fairy song. Then, for the third part of a minute hence, some to kill cankers in the musk rosebuds, some war with rare mice for their leathern wings to make my small elves coat, and some keep back the clamorous owl with nightly hoots and wonders at our quaint offices. Sing me now asleep. Oh, then to your offices and let me rest.
So Titania here is saying, sing me to sleep, fairies.
Spotted snakes with double tongues, mute and blind worms do no wrong. Come not near our fairy queen. Sing me our sweet lullaby.
So Queen Titania falls asleep.
Now all is well. One aloof and simple.
One fairy stays as a bodyguard, though.
What thou seest when thou dost wake, do it for thy true love take. Love and languish for his sake, be it ounce or cat or bear, pard or boar with bristled hair. In thy eye that shall appear, when thou wakest, it is thy dear. Wake when some vile thing is near.
Okay, so here he's going to get his revenge. He actually wants her to wake up when something gross and vile is near. And again, this is his immaturity and his revenge.
Farewell, you faint with wandering away. To speak truth, I have forgot our way. Will rest us, Hermia, if you think it good, and tarry for the comfort of the day.
Be it so, Lysander. Find you out of bed, or I upon this bench will rest my head.
One turf shall serve as pillow for us both. One heart, one bed, two bosoms, and one troth.
Nay, good Lysander, for my sake, my dear, lie further off yet. Do not lie so near.
Oh, take the sense feet of my innocence. Love takes the lead in love's conference. I mean that my heart unto yours is knit, so that but one heart we can make of it. Two bosoms interchained with an oath, so then two bosoms and a single troth. Then by your side no bedroom me deny, for lying so, Hermia, I do not lie.
Lysander riddles very prettily. Now much beshrew my manners and my pride, if Hermia meant to say, Lysander lied. But, gentle friend, for love and courtesy, lie further off, in human modesty.
Okay, so Lysander is trying to get him a piece of something. So Lysander wants to get with her, and he says, you know what, come on over here. This little bit of turf can serve as a pillow for both of us. We can both lie here as one heart, one bed, two bosoms, and one truth. So he's trying to get her to come and lie down with him. But she doesn't want to do that. They aren't married yet, and she does not want to be dishonorable. So then he quickly changes his tune and says, oh, Hermia, I wasn't trying to get with you. I was just trying to let you know how I think our love is like one entity. So my heart is knit unto yours. That's all I was saying. And then Hermia starts to giggle and she says, okay, I believe you. But still, lie further off for my virginity's sake, for my honor's sake.
Such separation as may well be said becomes a virtuous bachelor and a maid, though far be distant. Good night, sweet friend. My love ne'er alter till thy sweet life end.
Amen. Amen to that fair prayer say I, and then end life when I end void.
Now this is irony because he says, my love for you would never die. And she says, I love you too until the very end of my life. We're going to find out later on, though, that his love is going to end pretty quickly, which makes it irony.
Here is my bed. Sleep gives me all his rest.
With half that wish, the wish's eyes depressed.
Enter Puck. So he's getting this mixed up. He thinks Lysander is Demetrius.
Through the forest have I gone, but Athenian found I none, in whose eyes I might approve this flower's false and stirring love. Night and silence, who is here? Weeds of Athens he doth wear. This is he, my master said, despised the Athenian maid. And here the maiden, sleeping sound on the dank and dirty ground. Pretty soul, she durst not lie near this lack-love, this kill courtesy. Churl, upon thy eyes I throw all the power this charm doth owe. When thou wake, let love forbid sleep his seat on thy eyelid. So awake when I am gone, for I must now blow abroad. Stay, though thou kill me, sweet Demetrius.
I charge thee, hence, and do not haunt me thus.
Oh, wilt thou darkling leave me? Do not so.
Stay, on thy peril. I alone will go.
Oh, I am out of breath in this fond chase. The more my prayer, the lesser is my grace. Happy is Hermia wheresoe'er she lies, for she hath blessed and attractive eyes. How came her eyes so bright? Not with salt tears, if so, my eyes are oftener washed than hers. No, I am as ugly as a bear. For beasts that meet me run away for fear. Therefore no marvel though Demetrius do as a monster fly my presence thus. What wicked and dissembling glass of mine made me compare with Hermia's fiery eyne? But who is here? Lysander on the ground? Dead? Or asleep? I see no blood, no wound. Lysander? Oh, if you live, good sir, awake.
And run through fire I will for thy sweet sake. Transparent Helena, nature shows her art that through thy bosom makes me see thy heart. Where is Demetrius? Oh, how fit a word is that vile name to perish on my sword.
Say so, Lysander, say not so. What though he love your Hermia, Lord? What though yet Hermia still loves you? Then be content.
Content with Hermia? No, I do repent the tedious minutes I with her have spent. Not Hermia, but Helena I love. Who will not change a raven for a dove? The will of man is by his reason swayed, and reason says you are the worthier maid. Things growing are not ripe until their season, so I, being young till now, ripe not to reason, and touching now the point of human skill, reason becomes the marshal to my will, and leads me to your eyes, where I'll look love's stories written in love's richest book.
Wherefore was I to this keen mockery born? When at your hands did I deserve this scorn? It's not enough, young man, that I did never, no, nor never can deserve a sweet look from Demetria's eye, but you must flout my insufficiency. Good troth, you do me wrong. Good sooth you do, in such disdainful manner me to woo. But fare you well. Perforce, I must confess, I thought you lord of more true gentleness. Oh, that a lady of one man refused should of another therefore be abused.
She sees not Hermia. Hermia, sleep thou there, and never mayst thou come Lysander near. For as a surfeit of the sweetest things the deepest loathing to the stomach brings, or as the heresies that men do leave are hated most of those they did deceive, so thou, my surfeit and my heresy, of all be hated, but the most of me. And all my powers address your love and might, to honor Helen and to be her knight.
So Lysander is now in love with Helena.
Help me. Lysander, help me. Do thy best to pluck this crawling serpent from my breast. And me, for pity. What a dream was here. Oh, Lysander, look how I do quake with fear. Thought a serpent at my heart away, and you sat smiling at his cruel prey. Lysander? You moved. Lysander! Lord! What of him? Gone? Don't sound a word. Alack, where are you? Speak, and if you hear, speak of all love! Oh, I swoon almost with fear. When I will pursue, you are not nigh. I would gentle you while find immediately.
All right, so Hermia wakes up from a nightmare. She's dreamt that a snake ate her heart and was smiling about it. Again, this is dramatic irony because we are in on a secret. Lysander has transformed into a snake and has broken her heart, and she doesn't know it yet. And what's worse, he doesn't even care. She says, I will find you, or I am prepared to die for you. Again, proving she is a fool for love. All right, peace out.